Hey everybody, Coach Jason here from Top of the Line Running. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying a great summer so far as well. I wanted to talk about individual goals and team goals, okay? And because it's important where we are right now, this is an important time to have this discussion and to think about this, right? As we're heading into cross country, which is a team sport, as we're heading into track, which is also a team sport, but also an individual sport, right? And differentiating the two is an important conversation to have. And talking about how they relate to each other instead of pitting them against each other is also an important conversation to have. There's a couple things I want to point out. Cross country and track, or just running in general, it's the only sport, cross country particularly, where the least amount of points wins, right? And that's how it is in cross country. But also, it's the only sport that you compete 9 consecutive months out of the year. If you're doing cross country, then indoor, then outdoor, or winter and spring track. And all you have is this summer to recover, right? And this is a good time to reevaluate what happened last year. And as a coach, I like to talk to my athletes, each one of them, and say, okay, this is what we did. We had this year, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. And these are the goals I have set forth for you because I believe in you. I also believe in the training. But I would also ask the individuals what their goals might be. Boys, girls, men, women, all of them. Okay. What's your goal? And I want to see how their goals line up with the goals I have for them, or the goals we might have for them. This is something I encourage coaches to do. It's up to you to decide whether you want to do it or not. But this is a great conversation to have because it allows the individuals to take ownership of their goals, puts them in a position to have a voice, right? And by doing that, they can hold themselves accountable. They can hold their teammates accountable and also enjoy the process. There's nothing more rewarding as a coach than sitting back and watching my team win a race or win a conference or states or nationals or whatever, and let them celebrate and realizing we put in all this work. We had a big part in this, right? And I mean, there's also nothing more frustrating to me as a coach than watching either head coaches take credit for assistant coaches' work or take crediting themselves only. Making it about the athlete is a very, very important trait, in my opinion, of a good coach and a successful coach. And at the end of the day, it's about the athletes. It's about the team. It's about them. How can we serve them, right? And this is a conversation to have to let them know that, they are part of the process. They are a big part of the process. I consider myself just the architect. I draw the design. They are the engineers, right? They do the work. They do the blood, sweat, and tears and all that stuff. They make it happen. I'm here to kind of just say, if we need a detour, we'll detour. We need to make adjustments, we'll make adjustments. But it's you folks that are doing the hard work, right? And I appreciate that, and I hope other coaches do as well. This is why it's important. And cross country is the time to do it because right now, the summer, you're recovering, you're rebuilding, right? And taking this summer fitness into cross country allows you to maximize performance in cross country, but also allows you to parlay that fitness into indoor and winter track for fast times, right? It also allows you to basically put icing on that cake and transfer it into the outdoors, a spring track for fast times as well, okay? Whether it be individual or relays. But again, this is where teammates can lean on each other. And this is where too, this is another reason why communication is such an important part. Because it's not only 1 through 7 that matters in cross country, it's 8 through 14 and everybody else. If a couple of people in the 1 through 7 either get sick or have SATs or whatever, get injured, you need to know that the people behind them can step up in their place and perform, okay? And making them feel that they're part of the team, let them know they are part of the team, part of the process, an important part of the puzzle, right? And it also gives more clarity into the goals. And there's a reason why I have these goals, and there's a reason why I give so much detail on this channel, okay? And which is why I hope if you're not subscribed that you'll do that before you leave. You're a coach or an athlete, you want detailed information, training programs to look at, I've got 500 plus here for you on this channel, right? You want to have a conversation from coach to coach, my email is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. I do that stuff. I do mentoring for coaches. I do personalized coach training plans. It doesn't matter if you're training for middle distance or distance or the marathon. I do all of it. I've trained everybody at every level with success, thankfully, over the last 2 decades. I'm also a former competitive runner. I'm also USATF certified. So just as an FYI. So this is why, giving your athletes say in the process gives them more clarity on what their goals is, gives them a better understanding of the work that needs to be done to achieve these goals, so that they know, well, this is what we're doing here and why, right? This stuff has worked, this stuff hasn't worked. So these are the adjustments that we need to make to enhance your performance. Okay. And so little things like the summer, having a consistent summer. Okay. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a huge summer, a consistent summer. Okay. Giving yourself time to relax, give yourself time to recover and rebuild, to repeat potentially 9 consecutive months of racing again. And giving yourself that time to plan out what you want to do in cross country and have an understanding. Oh, this is why I'm doing just base training and doing building, and why I'm doing basic speed development in July and maybe some tempo runs in August instead of hard workouts throughout the whole entire summer. Well, there's a reason why I do it. I don't know other coaches do, but it gives you time to build up to your goal volume, adding speed development to get used to the faster paces, to get your legs under you, which makes it easier to transition into the tempo runs or threshold runs, which makes it easier to transition into the harder cross-country training in the next 3 months. That way you're not doing too much too soon. You're not peaking 4 to 6 weeks early. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to be at your best when it counts the most, right? And this is where the individual goals, and I have, I talk about objectives and goals even for summer. Even in this, you don't have to go from 40 miles a week to 70. You build on what you have done before. Everything's a gradual progression over time, whether it's velocity or volume or intensity and so on. Okay. And being able to communicate that with your athletes is a really, really important thing. But I just wanted to focus on that today. Okay. Individual goals, team goals, they work together. The individual goals and having an understanding and being able to execute them makes it easier to achieve the team goals. Okay. And cross country, everybody's running the same race, as we know. Track, you're running a whole bunch of different races. So this is where training groups comes into play, right? It's different, and being able to coach with the eye, make adjustments on the fly. That's where taking notes, having a notepad comes into play as well. That way you can go back and look and say, okay, this stuff worked for them, but didn't work for them. So what do I need to do? Do I need to change the intensity, the rest? Do I need to cut back the volume of the reps, to get them to run the same pace? There's a lot of different things you can do, okay? It all goes back to the goals. Like, sometimes my goals are, okay, you weren't able to handle mile repeats yet, but you're at 800-meter repeats. My goal is to get you to 1,000-meter repeats at the pace everybody else running for the mile. And then eventually the 1,200-meter repeats. And then eventually mile repeats so that everybody can run the same group together, right? And that's the end of the game. That's the name of the game, right? To close the gap in cross country. Well, this is the type of stuff that puts you in a position to do that. So I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here with coaches, but hopefully you find something valuable here. And I'll get back to milestone workouts, and I've got a lot more coming. So, and if you haven't if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you do that as well, because I put out a daily video on stuff there too for people, and that you could utilize in. It's got a different audience there, so I wanted to appeal to everybody and get everybody some valuable information. So, but that's what I have here today. Enjoy your summer. Have a great week. Talk to you next time.